Allah Yahweh Shemel Shai. Yahweh Shemel Shai. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
And I saw heaven opened, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God.
The Israelites told me this day would come. I didn't listen.
Oh my God!
What is that thing? And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them, and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakadash. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right. And what I want to get into with this lesson, all right, is going into let's see how America turns out for you, Jake. Okay, and this is a lesson inspired by a video, quick video put up by the beloved brother Yaqua, the hopeful elect 3. And you just got this simple Jake, going to how much, he loves America. He got his little complaints or whatever. But here it is, we're down the home stretch, all right, and all this information has come out, about Esau Edom, especially over here in the West. Okay, because at this point, that your so-called leaders are Satanists. Okay, you know that they're PDF files. Okay, you know that they are, genocide. Okay, you know what they're about. America allows more chemicals in, the food supply than any country in the world. Okay, a government that completely hates its people, and especially hates you Israelites, you tribes, man. Okay, but in 2026, you still got simple niggas, all right, that are ready to go down with the ship with America. And best believe you're going to go down. All right, the Lord is going to set that up for you. Okay, the Lord's going to arrange that in prophecy for you to go down with the ship called America, man. Okay, you simple niggas out here, man. Now let's go here. Let's get some precepts, and then we'll go to the video. This is the book Isaiah 30:1. This is the AMP. It says, "Woe, judgment is coming to the rebellious children, declares the Lord, who carry out a plan but not mine." And see, now, as the scriptures say, what's pleasing unto the Lord is made known unto you, O house of Israel. And you go to Baruch 4:4. You see, the Lord has raised up the prophets, that's feeding Israel with what knowledge and understanding. Okay, so now you have to consciously refuse the message of the prophets and still choose rebellion and ride with Esau, man. So now that the Lord is making to where you have to consciously make that decision. Okay, and most of our people, 2/3, they're going to choose Esau. They're going to choose, all right, the enemy of righteousness, the enemy of their own people. Okay, in these last days, man, and be horrifically judged for that, man. It's going to be a horrific judgment for the treachery that you Israelites are getting ready to commit on a whole nother level. Okay, he says, "Woe, judgment is coming to the rebellious children," declares the Lord, "who carries out a plan but not mine, and making an alliance by pouring out a libation, because in the ancient world you will pour out strong drink, to a god, like Jake be pouring out liquors for their dead homie. Well, it goes back to paganism, okay? But Jake was into that, all right, back then. But now we know that our people are what? They're on the wine. They're spiritually drunk off Babylon, okay? And they constantly commit themselves to this system, okay? To this false reality, man, to this rebellion that Esau calls liberty, okay? It says, "and making an alliance by pouring out a libation, but not of my spirit, in order to add sin to sin." Yeah, each generation gets worse. Each generation becomes more wicked, more dark, more rebellious than the previous generation. Okay, and then you still got these old coon niggas in America. Their mind is constantly, all right, deteriorating. Okay, here in America, man. Okay, so when you go to verse 2, it says, "who proceed down to Egypt without consulting me." And how? Okay, and it says, "my mouth." Well, wait a minute. What's the mouthpiece of the prophets? Okay, it says, "who proceed down to Egypt without consulting me." Well, let's get some understanding on it, because without consulting me. Well, how do you consult the Lord? Okay, first let's go here to the book of Hosea. All right, I think it's 12. I think that's Hosea 12. All right, this is Hosea 12 and 10. It says, "I have spoken by the mouth." All right, it says, "I have spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets." Okay, so how do you come and get the counsel of Yahweh by Shema al-Shah? Well, through the ministry of the prophets. The Lord speaks by the prophets. There's a spirit he puts on this men to where we're vessels where the spirit of the Lord comes through us, man. Now, this is not of our own words. This is not of our own doings. The scriptures speak about how wisdom is a pure influence, okay, from the Most High. Okay, so we have a pure influence to do and speak the things that we say, man. Okay, it's all a pure influence that's coming from on high. Okay, and the Lord has set the ministry of the prophets for the believers to counsel. All right, to have wise counsel in these last days, man. Okay, and if you're a nigga 2026, okay, you still a Christian, you still think America is okay, and you can fix America, that spirit of trying to heal Babylon, well, you're not receiving wise counsel. Okay, so let's go from there. Let's get another example. You see, because the Lord is using the ministry of the prophets, okay, to speak and to warn, okay, and to teach his people. Well, we know only a remnant, okay, is going to get it. Now, when you go to 2 Corinthians 5 and 18, and it says, "and all things are the Most High, who have reconciled us to himself by Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, and have given us," okay, the prophets, the ministry of reconciliation. To wit, the Most High was in Yahweh Shah reconciling the world unto himself, not imputing their trespass unto them, and have committed unto us the world of reconciliation. Okay, so here it is. The Lord has raised up the good news, the prophets, to have the good news of reconciliation. Okay, America is a punishment for us, man. Okay, but niggas are so, are so destroyed mentally. Okay, that they fell in love with the prison. Okay, the warden, which is Esau, this prison, which is America, this whole beast system. okay, which has a global influence. You see, but our people have fell in love with their prison sentence, man. Okay, this was a punishment. All right, and through Yahweh Shah, we're being reconciled. All right, back to our power, and our power is going to take us home, man. This is not our risk. This is not our home. Okay, America has a expiration date, literally. You see, America is literally going to be destroyed. Okay, it's going to cease to exist. Okay, and our people have fell in love with a society that the Lord is getting ready to destroy. Okay, verse 20 says, "Now then, we are ambassadors." You see that, for Hamashiach, as though the Most High did beseech you by us. We pray you in Yahweh Shai's stead, be ye reconciled to the Most High. Okay, so there's a ministry that the Lord, raised up in these last days. And it's been decades now that ministry has been ongoing. And almost 20 years on the internet. Next year be 20 years on the internet if we're still here. You see, next year be 20 years on the internet, man. Okay, with information just traveling to and fro, as the scriptures say, in these last days. All right, that the Lord has been warning, that the Lord has been teaching, that the Lord has been instructing. Okay, the Lord has been giving understanding, the Lord has been exposing. Okay, going on 20 years, and you still have a remnant of our people. Okay, they got their head up the white man ass, man. Okay, up Esau ass, man. You see, this is Isaiah 30. Go back to the AMP. I think I was in verse 2. All right, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2 in the AMP. It says, "Who proceed down to Egypt without consulting me." Okay, through the prophets, to take refuge in the stronghold of Pharaoh and to take shelter in the shadow of Egypt, man. And our people trust in this system. In their mind, no matter how much going on, no matter if it's a poly crisis, they trust in Esau to figure it out. They trust in this system to bounce back. Okay? I say our people have fell in love with their prison sentence, and they have fell in love with their captors, man. Okay? To our people, that's why 2/3 has got to be destroyed, because they wouldn't have it any other way outside of this American system and what Esau got going on. They can't see nothing outside of it. That's why they're so offended when we speak of a kingdom not ruled by Esau. Jake is heavily offended. Okay? Because their self-esteem is so low that they don't, believe that society can exist without the so-called white man being in power. And they don't see themselves as capable of being anything but a good worker for Esau. Okay? A nigga is in paradise with a so-called good job in the Esau kingdom. I got a good job. Them niggas, man. Them niggas that get off at 3:00. That nigga got his work shirt on in the neighborhood to 9:30. Okay. One of them niggas, man. You see, it says, "Who proceed down to Egypt without consulting me, to take refuge in the stronghold of Pharaoh, and to take shelter in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore, the safety and protection of Pharaoh will be your shame, and the refuge in the shadow of Egypt, your humiliation and disgrace." Man, you people that trust, you Israelites that trust in this system, trust in Esau. You went and got juiced up. Okay, now you on deck for the MOTB. Okay, it's gonna be to your shame and your disgrace, man, because the Lord's gonna bring so much torment to this society, man. He's gonna bring so much judgment to Esau and everyone that's in league with this nigga, man. Okay, the Lord's gonna put down this great rebellion that's in the earth, man. And you Israelites are 10 toes down with Esau in this rebellion against your own power, man. Okay, and that's why the Lord finna fuck you niggas up, man. The Lord finna do you Israelites bad, man, that have in these last days still sided with this man with all this information coming out on this nigga, man. Okay? This nigga has never meant you any good in any time of this captivity, man, but you simple niggas are still gonna side with this guy. Okay? So let's segue to the video real quick. Listen to this simple nigga.
We're less than a month away from the 4th of July, Independence Day, 250th anniversary of America. And what really pisses me off is that there's so many people out there that are anti-American. Let me tell you something. You don't like it here? You don't like America? Leave.
He sounds just like an Edomite. You know, the nigga sound just like an Edomite, man. Nigga might be a tear, man. You know, but for context, they would say EJ. All right. But this nigga sounds just like a goddamn Edomite. If you don't like it here, you can leave. Okay? Look at this nigga, man. You see? This is what America has produced is forever slaves. Okay? This nigga is a whole patriot, man. Okay? And you go into all right, the hatred that Esau has for Jacob, and he never let up. Okay? But when Esau gave you niggas, you know, so-called rights, civil rights, okay, he gave you niggas a few perks of his society, you know, after he left you in the dust, you know, for centuries, and then he give you a little piece of a crumb off his table, and you niggas turn into forever slaves. You turn into this nigga, man. Okay? So let's play a little bit more of this.
There are plenty of us here, more than you, that'll help you pack. We'll help you find a boat. We'll help you find a plane to get the hell out of here. I love this country. If you're so ashamed of being an American, go somewhere else. Because we don't want you here. We love our country. I love my country. The other thing I don't like seeing is you niggas fucking up. Dr. King had a dream, but you niggas keep fucking it up.
Oh boy. Hey, but at the end of the day, Martin Luther King of the clown, okay, he had no goddamn dream. Okay, it was a small hat. All right, so-called rabbi who wrote that speech, man. All right, and you see how simple niggas are. 2026. Okay, this is the type of nigga that believe every word, okay, on the news. Okay, this is the type of nigga that watch the news every day, like 6 o'clock. All right, with that Bush, and nigga probably drink that Bush beer, okay, or Coors Light drinking nigga, man. Okay, and he sit up and watch the news, and he believe every goddamn thing. He believe everything that he was taught in school. Okay, this nigga probably got pictures with Mount Rushmore in the background. All right, and you know that nigga got them little shorts on him. Either might be wearing little khaki shorts. Okay, one of them niggas, man. All right, and we're tired of niggas too. Okay, but what we're more tired of than niggas, the 2/3. Okay, is the creator of the 2/3, which is Esau. We're tired of this nigga running the earth. All right, because if this nigga wasn't running the earth, it wouldn't be all right. Niggas and young hoes. You see, which them niggas are a problem. They gonna get judged too. You know, all y'all, you 2/3 Esau, all y'all niggas gonna get caught up in this destruction, man. Okay, you gonna burn right beside them Edomites and them young niggas, man. Okay, and young hoes. You see, this plays a little more.
Hardworking black people are out there doing the best they can to be the best that they can be, and then look at y'all. It's true, y'all look like a bunch of fucking monkeys. I'll say it. I don't care. I'll say the hard truth. And if TikTok doesn't like it, I'll post another fucking video saying, you niggas are fucking up. I see it every time. Wearing your bonnets, showing up at the grocery store in your fucking pajamas, looking like a fucking thug and a piece of shit. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves, but unfortunately, you're not. Yeah, there's a lot of work we need to do in this country, but we're doing it, okay? But some or most of you people out there choose to be the victim and want things to be horrible. You want that hate to keep going. You want that division to keep going. Doesn't get you anywhere. All that hate, all that bullshit doesn't get you anywhere. I'm going to celebrate my country just like any old good fashioned American is. I'm going to pop off some fireworks. I'm going to grill some meat. And I'm going to have a good time. Y'all want to stick around and be miserable? That's your problem.
And how you know you're going to make it to the 4th? You know, to say you're going to do this and do that. Okay? Well, yeah, this is a nigga who has been, this is a black, okay, he's a black Edomite. Okay? This is what, this nigga has a heavy Edomite imprint on him, man. Okay?
Have a nice day, y'all.
And finish, man. You know, and he's just going to be a part of the American desert. Okay? And he has no idea, all right, that he's going to celebrate the birthday, okay, of the lake of fire. You see, you dumb, stupid Americans have no idea, okay, because you're finna celebrate the birthday this July 4th, you know, the big 250 for America. All right, well, you're celebrating a day closer to this place becoming the lake of fire. All right, your dumb ass didn't know that. Okay, we talking about we're doing the work. Ain't no work to be done. This place is over with, man. Okay, this place is finished. Ain't no work to be done. You see, only thing left for America is judgment, man. This is the book of Isaiah 34:5. It said, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and behold, it shall come down upon Idumea," man. Well, that's America, man. Okay, the modern day Idumea, the modern day Basra, that's here in America, man. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. Okay? So here it is, the Lord has this judgment set for America, and the nigga talking about, you know, he's gonna go celebrate, he's gonna pop some fireworks, big old ass nigga. Okay? Gonna pop some firecrackers. How long will you simple love simplicity, man? You see? How long you simple niggas gonna love simplicity, man? Pop the firecrackers on the 4th of July, man. And it's going down in the earth. Okay, and this is what the nigga is on. Okay, it said, for my sword, which are the nukes, shall be bathed in heaven, the atmosphere, and they're going to come down upon Idumea, which is America, man, and on the people of my curse to judgment, which are Esau. But it's going to be a lot of nations caught up in this judgment in America, man. They have cleaved to Esau, because you notice when these nations come to America, they all mutate to a goddamn Edomite. Okay, they all mutate to an Edomite, man. Okay, the Chinese man, he started dressing like an Edomite, parting his hair like an Edomite. Okay, they learn English, they talk like who? Edomites. Okay, the Chinese man, the woman, the Moabite, you know, the Ammonite, Elam, they come over here, and who do they imitate? Esau. They all turn into goddamn Edomites, man. Okay. And you have simple niggas like that. He probably, you know, stayed around Edomites, had a decent job around Edomites. Okay, so Esau can do this nigga no wrong. You know, and he done transform into a whole nigga Edomite, man. Okay, verse 6 said, "The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lamb and goats, and with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea." Okay, So the lambs and the goats are you simple, dumb people. Okay, you're walking around the altar, and the Lord is going to light this altar on fire with the nukes and the chariots, man. Okay, the Lord's getting ready to light the altar on fire with these nukes and the chariots, man. Okay, and you dumb, stupid people are going to be aflame. You see, you're going to be stubble for the fire. Okay, and the Lord gonna have a nigga like that gonna be in there agonizing pain in that fire. He gonna look over and see Edomites. He gonna look over and see that bunny. Okay, it's gonna be a nigga in a hoodie on the nuke, because you know that nigga still gonna have the nukes. I mean the hoodie on when the nukes hit, man. Okay, he's gonna be a nigga in a hoodie and some gym shorts and some Crocs. He gonna be in the midst of all that, man. Okay, so the Lord got this thing set up perfect, man. All right, and it's 2026, and you got a nigga like that still talking about the dream of Martin Luther King. Nigga, that's been exposed, man. Okay, but like a simple nigga like that, and he just represents one of many, because there's so many, there's different nigga archetypes. Okay, but he's you know, you can tell he's that token nigga in the neighborhood and work. Okay, right with the college, mostly Edomites, and he's just been that token nigga all his life, man. Okay, so in his mind, America's not a bad place after all, man. When this is the worst goddamn country in the world, man. Okay, it gives you the liberty to destroy yourself, and at a time, all right, economically it did benefit, you know, the middle class, mostly Edomites, you know, a few Jakes thrive. Okay, but we at a time now, okay, where this place is finna be the worst place to be on the earth, man. Okay, civil unrest is going to be the worst here because people are so entitled and everybody's scrapped up. Okay, we're going to see what it's going to be beautiful, you know, when these things really hit, when the Lord really brings judgment. Okay, and you simple niggas, matter of fact, let's go back to Isaiah 30. Okay, and you simple niggas still are here talking about some goddamn my country. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse 8. It says, "Now go write it in the table before them, and inscribe it on a scroll, so that it may serve in the time to come as a witness against them forevermore." Yeah, so this Bible is a witness against you Israelites about how rebellious and simple you are, man. Okay, how rebellious and simple you are, man. The Bible gives a record, okay, of the simplicity of our people and their rebellious nature. For this is a rebellious people, lying sons who refuse to listen to the law and instruction of the Lord. Okay, so you look at our people, man. We bring out scriptures. Okay, Jake lose their goddamn mind. But you talking about popping firecrackers on the 4th of July? Okay, a nigga teeth hanging out his mouth, man. Okay, Jake want to be here and live this simple as, okay, wicked, you know, perverted, dark, you know, life in America, man. You know, the Lord hates America, man. The Lord hates American society, and he hates everyone that's in agreement with Esau, man. Okay, and he's going to show that hatred, man. Verse 10, who say to the seers, you must not see vision from the Most High. You think we could go and you think this nigga wants to hear about the vision about the Lord destroying this place? Okay, about Esau going to captivity. You think a nigga like that, you know, how you think he will react to that vision? Okay, but at the end of the day, it don't matter because it's gonna happen. Okay, in his lifetime. Okay, in his lifetime, he's finna see the power of the Lord, and he's finna see the downfall, all right, of his master Esau Edom. Okay, and this whole American society, man, but the Lord's gonna turn this place to a desert. Everything that you niggas love, the Lord's gonna turn to powder, man. You know, it says unto the prophets, you must not prophesy to us what is right. Speak to us pleasant things and smooth words. Prophesy deceitful illusions that we will enjoy. Yeah, because in his mind, he like, and that's another thing people cleave to with these holidays because they trying to capture that nostalgia. that American nostalgia. You see? So this nigga just want to hear about, grilling, you know what I'm saying? Like that Miller Lite, that High Life, beer, okay? This seedless watermelon, because the watermelon seedless now that these niggas love, okay? This is the high life. This is the peak of a nigga existence, man. Some goddamn 4th of July, man. Low frequency niggas, man. Isaiah 30:11 says, get out of the true way, turn aside from the path of the Most High, stop bothering us with the Holy One of Israel. Okay? Because what he's saying is, oh, you want to be negative? No, the Lord is finna be negative, man. You see, the Lord's finna bring bad time. The Lord is bringing division. You see, this is what the Lord is doing. All right, just because you can, and that's another thing. These holidays are distraction to try to keep people distracted from reality. People try to distract themselves from reality with these holidays, man. Okay, of how bad it's getting. You see, but it's gonna come a time you ain't gonna be able to celebrate a holiday. Okay, it's gonna come a time where you see, ain't gonna be no resources, ain't gonna be no TikTok or internet to get on and rant. Nah, man, you just have to deal with privacy real time. Okay, trying to survive every second in this civil unrest, man. Teeth of wild beasts, man. Then you're gonna be hearing, hey, the Lord finna turn America to a horror house, man. Okay, so you can try to ignore it and try to distract yourself by celebrating, these wicked holidays, man. Okay, but it's a time when the party gonna stop completely, man. Because they at least want to set this new system up, man. And see, niggas don't understand in this new system, man. You niggas don't have no spot. Okay, you think this system is oppressive now? Okay, and these little privileges and perks that you got within this oppressive system, well, hey, man, this devil has plans, man. Okay, because he's already behind his agenda, man. This man finna wild out, man. There's a time called Jacob Trouble, man. Okay, when the country you love so much gonna be gunning at you niggas' head, man. Okay, it says, therefore, the Holy One of Israel says this, because you have refused and rejected this word of mine and have put your trust in oppression in God, which is deception. Because this nigga deceived like he has some type of part in America, like America, okay, is a part of his inheritance as an American citizen. He has some type of rights and liberty and freedom and, pursuit of happiness, all that bullshit. Okay, he's guiled to believe that maybe because he has an okay situation. Okay, but he doesn't understand he's been led to a digital enslavement. Even before then, it's gonna be so chaotic. A nigga like that might not make it, man. Okay, but a nigga like that to die in the civil unrest and your house shot, lift this nigga up, man. Lift this box head nigga up. Just to feel that ultimate judgment, man, that fire, that ultimate wrath, man. Okay, it says, and have put your trust in oppression and guile, and have relied on them. Therefore, this wickedness, this sin, this injustice, this wrongdoing will be to you like a crack in the wall about to fall, a bulge in a high wall whose collapse comes suddenly in an instant. And the wall was meant to defense. You go into the walls that protect these cities. Well, that wall was a great defense. Okay. That wall, it put people at ease knowing that they had this, this great wall around them. Okay. It protected them from what? From calamity. You see? And this wall now is like this economic system, the emergency response, okay, the military, all these things that, give people a peace of mind while they go and enjoy the convenience of this first world society of America. Okay, but as we've been watching with the, brothers going into the news and prophecies and the current events, where we see the breach in the wall. We see that this place is set for collapse, and it's gonna fall right on top of niggas that trust this system, man. Okay, it's gonna crush you niggas that trust this system, man. It's gonna fall instantly. You see, but the Lord has us watching, and we're seeing the cracks in the wall. We're seeing the system getting ready to implode. Okay, we're seeing the devil is getting ready to attempt to switch over to this new world order, man. Okay, verse 14 says, "Who collapsed is like the smashing of a potter's jar, crushed so savagely, which is gonna be bad, man. You know, it's gonna be the Lord's gonna crush this place, man. You know, to break this place up, man, to cause, civil unrest, division. Okay, it says that there cannot be found among its pieces a potsherd large enough to take coals of fire from a fireplace or to scoop water from a search steam, man. Yeah, so the Lord's gonna break this place up beyond repair. It's not gonna be able to be pieced back together. The Lord's gonna shatter, okay, this American society, okay, that you people love. Okay, He's gonna destroy the society that you people love, man, because you can't peel America off most of our people, man. Okay, and the Lord gonna melt it off you niggas, man. Okay, see you on the other side. So Lord will you brothers and you few sisters edified. Till next time, say shalom. Om Yashala, Abba, Abba, Soon, Shalom.